Good afternoon. My name is Samson. Could you please tell me your full name?
Yes, I'm Mehrnaz Hafi.
Great. And could I see your identification, please?
Here you are.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. All right, now in the first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. First, I'd like to ask you some questions about your free time. Describe a place in your city or town where you like to go to in your free time.
Well, there is this huge shopping mall right in the western part of my city called Baumland. I really like there, and it has a great number of stores of all kinds. I usually go there in my leisure time with my sister, and I enjoy window shopping there, although there are so many other things to do. People can go there to do their shoppings, spend time together, and just have fun in their leisure time.
Wonderful. And why do you like to go there in particular?
I think it's because there are so many different activities that you can do there. Whatever I need to buy, I can find it there. Or if I want to get together with my friends, it's a great place for us to hang out for a while. In a summary, to just have a conclusion, I can say that it's like a little city under one roof. It's amazing.
Oh, great. And is there anything you don't like about it?
Yes, the only thing that I can think of is the parking situation. The parking garage is so crowded, and sometimes I have to spend a lot of time just driving around to find an empty spot. Besides, I have just obtained my driving license, so it's kind of annoying, and it annoys me even more. So I think that they should have a system to show us where the empty spots are, so that we can just go right to the spots without driving around and around for a long time.
Great. And is it a popular place for people in your city?
Absolutely, yes. It's a well-known place among Iranians, especially people who live in Tehran. I think one of the reasons is because you can do many different activities there, as I mentioned before, and there are so many things that you can purchase. The other reason that I can think of is that you can find whatever you need, and people can buy different stuff needless to go anywhere else afterwards.
Wonderful. And let's now move on to talk about the internet. Mm-hmm. How often do you use the internet?
To be honest, I'm almost always online, since my work and my studies both can be undertaken through the internet. Especially since this coronavirus situation happened, we don't have any other choice than to use the internet. I usually use internet to find information both for my work and some personal reasons. So I can say that I'm using internet several times a day.
Wow. And do you like shopping online?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of online shopping because it's so easy, and you just it's kind of my thing. I can say it that way. The shipping costs are kind of high, but it's worth it. And I really enjoy searching the net and finding information before I make a big purchase. That is one of the big benefits that online shopping has.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for up to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say, and you can make notes if you wish. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, wonderful. So here's a piece of paper,
Thank you.
A pencil to make notes. So here is our topic. Describe a hobby you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
You have 1 minute to make notes. You may start now.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay, yeah, 1 minute is up as well, so you may start speaking now.
One of the hobbies that I really enjoy doing is painting. I cannot say that I'm an artistic person, but I really like it. The material that I usually use are color, water, brushes, and special watercolor papers. I started learning how to paint a couple of years ago. Frankly, I can't remember why I decided to do that, but as soon as I knew that's what I wanted to do, I started looking for classes near my workplace. And that was when I was an architecture student. I've learned a lot through these years, and now I enjoy painting a lot. And that's because it's really relaxing, and it just gives me a satisfying feeling. It makes me feel great about myself and my work. One of the other reasons that I can think of is that I find it so challenging. I see it as a challenge. Making a painting look the way I want it to look has always been a challenge. And I've had some frustrations through these years, but whenever I feel like that I finally made my painting look the way I imagined it or pictured it in my mind, it's just great. It makes me feel thrilled and so proud of myself. So these are the reasons that I really enjoy painting. Also, I really like it that I have something to hang on the walls, but of course I only hang up the successful ones, but I love all of my works equally. So this relaxing hobby that I have is great and so useful for me.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's the end of the 2 minutes.
Okay.
May I have the papers back, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Thanks very much. Okay, so we've been talking about a hobby you enjoy doing, and now I'd like to ask you some questions related to this.
Sure.
What hobbies are common in your culture?
Well, Iranians have always been so interested in having different entertainments. One of the hobbies that is popular among my friends is collecting comic books. I know some people might say that it's not that commonly done among Iranians, but it is. People like collecting different comic books, including comics from other countries. However, people like collecting other things like coins or stamps, or some artistic people or creative people might like paintings and drawings, although I think it can be an expensive collection.
Okay. And are there any hobbies that you think are not worthwhile?
To be honest, some hobbies can be a real waste of time for me. For example, collecting baseball cards is not one of my favorites because I'm so uninterested in baseball. But of course, I cannot say that it can't be worthwhile for someone who enjoys baseball and likes this hobby. So I think that having a hobby is fine as long as it's not harmful to yourself and other people, and as long as you're having fun with it, so it's okay and it's worth doing it.
Okay, and why do you think people have hobbies?
I think people have different entertainments in their free time because they want to relax. After a whole week of working or studying, we all need some time to relax and enjoy ourselves. Also, people might have hobbies to learn some new skills like drawing, like knitting, or even learning a new language. And the other thing that I can think of is finding new people and new friends. You can join groups of like-minded people that have the same hobbies as you do, and that can be so great and fun. So I think these are the reasons why people allocate time to hobbies.
Right, and how important is it to encourage children to take up hobbies?
It's great. I think it's so good to motivate children to take up hobbies for themselves. That's how they can use their free time instead of just wandering around, watching TV, or just playing with their phones. It can be great, it can be a good experience, and they can learn some new skills too. I mean, even if their hobby is to just draw something simple, they can learn some useful skills too, like organizing, like setting up their mind, like choosing a goal and reaching it. So I think it can be useful in their daily life too.
Oh, great. And do you think it's also important for older people, like retired people, to take up maybe a few hobbies?
Yes, obviously. Hobbies, as I said before, can help you relax and enjoy your free time. It can also be useful to take your mind off some of the problems that you might have, in work problems, personal problems, and you can just enjoy what you're doing and have fun as long as you want and you can. So it can be a great idea to have hobbies, no matter how old are you or how many problems you have in your life.
Thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test.
Very good.
Okay. You can take a deep breath now.
I was a little bit stressed.
No, that's natural. That happens in every. Actually, I think it happens more in the mock test. Okay, so
Yeah.
don't worry about that. First, we'll have a look at the 4 criteria. Just a quick roundup to get your band score. Tell you your band score first. So what we're looking at here is easily an 8. Which, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You earned it. You earned it because basically you're ticking all the boxes that the speaking test in IELTS requires. We'll go through them one by one, and easily you can increase that 8 to a 9. I don't think you have any particular problem. What we're looking at here. So we'll start fluency and coherence. This is the first thing we're going to look at. Again, perfect. All the sentences that you're producing, the fluency sounding naturally. I thought you sounded very natural to me. Very, very natural and relaxed. You were not using particular. You had maybe a few self-repetition. You had some self-repetition, but very little. Very little. It had a few these are just the minor things you could just cross off from your list, to get the 9 band score rather than the 8. But you seemed very relaxed to me altogether, and your speed as a whole, it was good. Maybe sometimes here and there you rushed just a tiny bit, and you could easily kill off some more time by just slowing down just a tiny bit. But again, because you were producing amazing ideas with all the answers that you were answering correctly, I don't think you had a problem with time in particular, but maybe just as a precaution you could slow down a little bit. Vocabulary, again, was amazing. Wide range of vocabulary, using them in the correct spots, and maybe producing the same words or the same meaning, but using a wide range of vocabulary, which is very good for IELTS criteria, IELTS speaking criteria. Maybe you repeated words here and there. That happens. I mean, what do you call it? Native speakers, they would do the same. We all repeat our words, and that's another natural part of the language. Maybe you could just polish that up for your IELTS speaking test. Again, just if you want to get that 9 band score. Grammar and accuracy. Again, you were using complex structures, and I don't think you had any problem with that either, because you seemed very relaxed. You were using them in the correct time, and one after the other. And I don't think, maybe at some point you were a little bit hesitant, but I think that's more about the idea that you were talking about, to continue talking about your idea, maybe a little bit.
It's sometimes hard to extend my ideas.
That's right. I think it's hard for anyone to extend their ideas, particularly if they're not prepared for the sort of questions they're going to be asked. That again could happen for a native speaker. A native speaker could fall into that trap. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Again, if you were slightly maybe hesitant thinking about your idea, maybe just a tiny bit slow down. I would say just slow down in your answers in part 2 and part 3, because it is a little bit complex when you're trying to think about multiple ideas to have a conversation with the examiner, especially in part 3. But again, I don't think you had any problems with your ideas, and the complex structures that you were using, again, fantastic stuff. Pronunciation, I don't think you had any problem with pronunciation. I wouldn't look at that at all. I mean, you sounded very comfortable with all the words that you were pronouncing, whether they were the simple words or some certain tongue twisters. I felt that your tongue wasn't twisted at all. It was very good. So definitely pronunciation, definitely I wouldn't concentrate on that at all. Altogether, just a bit of timing with the, spreading out your ideas a little bit with the answers, and all it is, just taking down the pace. Maybe if you're in gear 5, maybe reduce it to gear 4.
Yeah, so many thoughts in my thought that I need to think of, so yes, you're right.
That's no
exactly
problem.
What I should do.
That's absolutely fine. Are there any questions you'd like to ask me?
Actually, I was just worried about the time managing, and that's one of the reasons why I was trying to talk as much as I can, as fast as I can, and yeah, it was a great feedback for me to just slow down a little bit and concentrate more. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. No, you did a great job, and you actually managed to control it in many of the most of the occasions, especially part 2. Even you went on to elaborate even more, just to make sure like you were talking about time management.
Isn't
to make
the
sure
time getting over?
That's right. To make sure the time is over. Try not to think too much about that. If I was in your position, just stick to your ideas, just what you were doing, and again, it plays in the back of your mind. Okay, I do have to talk for up to 2 minutes, but you know how it works. The examiner stops you after the 2 minutes, so don't worry. I mean, if you just focus on that, with controlling the speed. And if you control the speed and stop that slight hesitant side with the ums, because we all do it, native speakers, we always have the ums and the pauses, so you just polish it. It's just basically polishing up what you have, and you'd easily get that 9-band score. I don't see any problem.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, I know so. So I wish you the best of luck, and well done.
Thank you very much. It was great, and I can really use the feedbacks that you gave me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Anytime.